Okay, and here we go. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We are going to talk about Kahoot today. Let me ask before we get started, how many of you are familiar with Kahoot? I think just about everybody here is, but if you are not, you are, Karen, or not? You are familiar?
I was raising my hand that I'm familiar, but
Okay.
just barely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I
That's
only
like
used
Karen.
it. I think I only used it once at a conference.
Okay.
Exposure.
Okay, very good. We use Kahoot a lot. You know, whenever we have kind of get-togethers and so on and so forth, we do use Kahoot. So it's fun. It's a game, but it can be used as a very great learning tool for your classrooms, or for anyone. You can use it on a personal level too. If you Zoom with your family and friends, you can use Kahoot. And I do want to tell you that all of the schools, I mean the majority of schools, are using Kahoot in the classroom. So most of the students, the new students coming in, will more than likely be familiar with it. So don't be afraid to try it with them, because they'll probably be telling you how to use it. Okay, so as I mentioned before, Isabella Vick is going to join us. She's the marketing specialist from Kahoot in Texas, and she should be joining us shortly. So what is Kahoot? I mentioned this just a couple of minutes ago, but I'll go over it again. It is a game-based platform that is used for learning. It's used in educational technology, in schools, and other institutions. And I suppose even businesses might be using it at some point. But in our setting, it is used primarily to promote student engagement. Now that we're in, remote settings, we need to, kind of keep them engaged even more than usual. So using Kahoot, what you create are Kahoots, and they are user generated. You create them, and you can create them with multiple choice or true or false quizzes, and you can actually use them as an assessment. They can be accessed via the browser or the Kahoot app. So I just want you to be sure that you understand the difference between the two. So Kahoot.com is where you, as an instructor, and I'm going to give you time later to go ahead and do that, but I just want you to understand the difference. Kahoot.com is where you, as an instructor, will go to create your account. Okay, and you will administer your games through your account. Students, on the other hand, can download the app. They can also use it online if they don't have a phone that they can put the app on, and they go to kahoot.it. So what happens is you create a game, a code is generated, and then you give that code for our students or anyone in your audience to play. So I just wanted you to be aware of those two areas. All right, so the important part is the plans, and I'm going to explain a little bit further about the plans because there are several. There's a basic plan which probably will suit your needs, but you can look into a pro, a premium account, and then they have a premium teach account, which would be more for institutions. So if anyone, at the colleges is planning on getting an account for the institution, to use institutionally, you probably would want to look at that. And when you go to Kahoot.com, you're going to see all the different accounts and what each one of them represents. I kind of broke it down because I wanted you to see the differences between the planned features. So with the basic account, you can, use this in your class, and that's standard across, Pro, Premium, and the Premium Plus. You can do live games, again, class size games, and you can see that here in this second area. Distance learning tools. So you can teach students outside of the classroom by hosting games via video conferencing, which is what we are doing right now. So you're going to be playing a game, but it can be hosted through this Zoom account. You can assign student-paced challenges for students to play on their own. So think about when you might be doing that. You can, create a Kahoot, use it as a pretest or a study guide, actually, because they can answer their questions and see as they go along whether they've answered the questions right or not, and then actually use the Kahoot in the classroom, not for a grade, but to see, how many have, mastered the topic that you're talking about. That last, actually, this just popped up just a few days ago, maybe within the past week. There are some new items. You can have a maximum number of groups in different accounts. So there, of course, in the basic account, you can only have one group. In the Pro account, 10, and so on and so forth. You also can have the maximum number of group members in a group. And you see how that just increases as you go along the board in the different types of accounts that you have. The last one I thought was really interesting, because you can actually use this as a formative assessment. So there are several types of questions that you can ask. You can ask true and false, multiple choice, and so on, and use that as an assessment. You also can get reports back on the different Kahoots that you have done, and you're going to see that in just a couple of minutes. So any questions about the plans? And you'll see more when you look at the Kahoot. They explain in more depth, and you'll see how much more is available in the Premium and the Premium Pro accounts. So, if you're going to use that, I would imagine that, we have an LMS and we have Blackboard where we can, give assessments and get grades and so on. But maybe in elementary and high school, they don't have that option, so they can use this to assess their students. Okay. So here are some ideas on how you can use Kahoot in your class or in your group, whatever area you're in right now, to introduce new topics. That's always, it can be used as actually a pretest. So if you're teaching anatomy and you want to give, 5 questions in a Kahoot game to see how many of your students, know these topics already, that would be great. You can use it as an assessment, as I mentioned before. You can use it for test prep. You can use it simply for remote learning, create, you can, in the Premium account, I did want to add this, you can add a video and have your students review the video, and then you have your questions created in the Kahoot. So that's, that's also a very nice feature. And you can create interactive lessons. Again, that's for the Premium account, but just know if that's something that you think would benefit your situation, you might look into getting that type of account. So I'm going to stop there. Does anybody have any other ideas on how they might want to use Kahoot in your class or in your group? Just throw something out there.
I know Beth, our boss, she uses it for her non-credit courses, and she
Yes.
uses it even more like she uses it instead of PowerPoint almost. So you go through and then kind of it's almost like a what's it called? Like the button systems they used to have, like the
Right.
reporting back, getting feedback from people. And so she kind of uses it that way to go through it. And I know even if you get the premium plus plan, I think you can even import PowerPoints too.
Yes.
So I think that's a cool way too, just to go through the presentation and keep everyone engaged. Clickers, there we go. Thank you, Lauren.
I think she may have a paid account. Yeah, clickers. We've used, I mean, here at the college for years, and it, you know, at the time, it was the greatest thing to use in a classroom. Now we don't have to pay for all of those clickers or maintain them. Our department was responsible for maintaining them, in case you wanted to know, or having them walk away and, you know, that kind of thing. So great. That's great. Who else has something they'd like to add? Anyone else? Elaine had to number them. Yes, we did. We all did.
Comes back in the dinosaur ages.
Yeah, so it's very convenient, and you know the free version is great. And if you need to do, you know, have all these other features, the paid account is not that expensive to have. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here because I see that Isabella came in. So Isabella, we just
Yes,
started.
hi.
So yes, please talk about yourself. Let us know anything you'd like to know.
Oh, yes. Hi, everyone. So I'm Isabella. I work at the Kahoot office in Austin. Kahoot is actually a Norwegian company, which is a fun fact a lot of people don't realize. But our American office is headquartered in Austin. There's a pretty small team of us. There's only 7 or 8 of us here in Austin. So I do a wide range of things for the marketing team. I manage social media. I do webinars. I do blog posts. Anything that is related to educators and how they use Kahoot, I usually help put it out there. So it's a pleasure to be joining y'all today. And I'm excited to play a Kahoot later on.
Oh, yes, we're excited that you're going to give us one of your Kahoots to play too. They're
Oh, yeah.
excited. Thank you so much for being here. I'm not exactly, I've gone through, you know, what Kahoot is. Most everybody that is here is familiar with Kahoot. Maybe they haven't had a chance to play with it too much, but I was explaining the different plans that we have, and yeah, if you want to say anything else, anything about the premium plans, I think they're really kind of neat, but if you want to say anything about the plans, please do.
Yes, well, Kahoot is forever free for educators and teachers. That's a big part of our mission. So you'll always be able to use Kahoot and host Kahoots for your students. Then if you want some of our fun upgraded features, we have several different plans with lots of different features. I think Marshall kind of mentioned the interactive lessons. So we now have a new question type called slides. And you can actually import a power presentation into a Kahoot and then add fun Kahoot questions. Then you don't have to toggle back and forth between PowerPoint and Kahoot. You know, you can do it all in the one Kahoot browser, which is pretty fun. And then when I play a Kahoot, we'll see all the different fun question types. But I love reiterating that, yes, Kahoot is forever free. That's really important to us. So you should be able to get all of the basic stuff that you really need in our free plan.
That's great. Okay. Thank you. All right. Does anyone have anything, any other thing they'd like to mention about how to use Kahoot in your classroom or in your organization? Okay. So the next thing I have is a little video that it's just a 1-minute video that shows you how to create a Kahoot. And I need to be sure that I turned on my, tell me if you can hear this. If not, I have to. And it's just like a minute and a half. Can you hear that?
No.
No.
I think you're only sharing PowerPoint.
I know. I didn't share my, sorry about that. Well, it's not really talking. It's just playing music in the background. So I'll just run through it real quick.
Are you still setting it up, Sandy? We're not seeing anything, or I'm not seeing anything but the PowerPoint.
You're not seeing it, Karen?
No,
I'm sorry.
I just see the PowerPoint still.
Okay. All right. It was on it. It was showing you how to create a Kahoot. So just let me go back. I thought it just wasn't showing you the music.
Yeah,
Wasn't.
I didn't see it either.
Oh, all right.
If anybody had.
Okay. So let me go back. I'll share it again. Take a minute. Now, can you see it?
No, it's still the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Do you need to?
I am so sorry. I don't know why.
Does it have to be not in presentation mode? That doesn't.
It is in presentation mode, but it wasn't. Okay, well, I will stop this because we're going to talk about this in a second anyway. So let me stop share. I'll bring this up. I apologize. At least you can see the screen here. So we're going to go through this anyway. So I will take you to this screen. Can you see this?
I don't see anything but us.
A PowerPoint slide.
No,
Oh my goodness. Maybe there's something. All right, let me share again. Well, this is embarrassing. And my thing is in the way, so I can't see it.
stuff
Okay,
happens.
we're going to try this again. For some reason, okay, I'm going to reshare and see. Okay, can everybody see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is basically what was going on with the video that only I could see. So when you go to Kahoot.com and you, this is the page that you will arrive at. You can see that this is my account. My name was on the side. What I wanted you to know is that right over here on this right side, these are all the Kahoots that you have created. Okay, so these are just 2 old Kahoots that I had created. What you were seeing in the other video was to click on the create button and then start creating your Kahoot. Okay, but here's where you'll see the list of the Kahoots that you've already created. Here is when you want to host a Kahoot, you're going to click on it and then choose the Kahoot that you have created and play the game, which you're going to see in a little bit. I mentioned something about reports. This was up at the top. So after you do deploy a Kahoot, you're going to be able to see the reports about that particular Kahoot. So that's one of the nice features in Kahoot if you're going to use it in your classroom as part of an assessment. Okay, so this is my dashboard, and this is what I see when I go into Kahoot. There are also several Kahoots that have been created already that you can use if you want to. So some of them are free. I know many instructors like to give away their work for others to use, particularly around the holidays. You know, there may be, I think I saw a Halloween one, a Christmas Kahoot, so you can use the ones that are there if you would like to, but you'll probably have more fun creating your own. Here's that upgrade button. The upgrade button, of course, is if you want to upgrade your plan. Okay, and here's the share button to share your Kahoot. And I told you earlier that once you create your Kahoot and you share it, it will generate a number, and that's how your students will play the game. So what I wanted to do is to let you get started. If you want to, you can just go to Kahoot.com and set up your account. You can do that now. If you just want to put it on your phone to play a game, please do. So you can find it on iOS or Android. Just go either to the Play Store or Apple Store and find Kahoot and put the app on your phone. So how many of you here have a phone with you that you will play the game on?
Sandy, if we just go to that, instead of downloading the app, like when we do it in our department, just go to that.
Yeah, you go to Kahoot.it that we have to play the game.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yep.
And if I already have the app, do I just go there and wait for your
Yep.
Well, what is
number?
it, Sandy? Kahoot.it.
IT if you're going to play the game. And is that right, Isabella? They don't need to do it on their computer, the game that you're going to play with them. They just can play it on phone, right?
I just need
Yes, they can just play on their phones at Kahoot.it, or if they have the app, they can play on the app, and they can even play on their computer.
Right.
They put the Zoom window and the Kahoot.it like side by side in like different window pages.
Yep.
Why can't
I hear the music. So we always have a debate about the music. Do we like the music or do we find it annoying? I know when you turn the music on, it usually comes very loud. So you might have to lower.
Yes, especially if you're playing over Zoom, I always lower the music because you can't really talk over the music. Nobody can hear you. So that's
Right.
always one of my top Kahoot tips when playing virtually is to turn off the music.
Right.
So I can't do it on my phone.
Why not?
Yeah. Oh, all right.
Because unfortunately, my phone is not a genius. It's
Oh,
remedial. But
okay.
Yeah, is there
so
going to be a
if,
game pin for this one?
Yes.
Okay.
okay, so I could do it on a computer.
Yes.
Okay.
hmm
Thank you.
And actually, I'm gonna let me just get the link. I want to put the I'm gonna copy and paste that little video right here in the chat so you can look at it on your own. And again, I do apologize for whatever I did. It just didn't work. Okay, so who is ready? Everybody ready?
Yes, just need a pin.
Okay. All right, so Isabella,
Yes.
go for it.
All right. So I'm
Let's
going to
play.
put the pin in the chat so you can easily copy that into Kahoot.it. And then Sandy, if you stop sharing your screen, I can share mine. And perfect.
Oh, so
Da-da. This one. Okay. Can everyone see this lovely purple Kahoot screen?
Yep.
Yay, someone's already in. Great.
Yes.
probably Elaine
Oh,
because
yeah.
we play this all the time.
Yes, I love it. I also play Kahoot all the time, which I know is shocking. We actually play a lot inside the company, which is fun.
Oh, you
We play
do?
a lot of Kahoots.
That's
But
pretty
yeah,
neat.
so it looks like everyone is getting in. That's great. So like Sandy was saying, you can join with your phone. That's usually easiest if you're looking at your computer screen, because then, you know, it's pretty straightforward. You just click the answers on your phone and then you see the questions on the screen. If you don't have a second device, or if your students don't have a second device, that's fine. You just need to minimize the Zoom window and then open up your web browser and go to kahoot.it in your web browser. Great, so we'll go ahead and get started. I think everyone's in, but if not, let me know. I can stop the game, but you can still join a game even after it's begun. So let's go. Today's Kahoot is going to be all about movie quotes. And then I threw in 2 questions about Kahoot. So may the odds be ever in your favor. What movie is this from? And there's a nice hint that's being revealed where the image goes that hopefully will help if you're a little stuck. And then please, as we're playing, if you have any questions about Kahoot or anything, you can put them in the chat and I can look at them later, or you can just ask me live. All right, The Hunger Games. Yes, that's correct. So that is from the Hunger Games movie. I think the first one. Oh, Marshall, Karen, Laura, EL, and Lanny. Good job. Okay, let's go to the next question. Quiz question. Nobody puts baby in a corner. What movie is this from? Baby Driver, Dirty Dancing, Footloose, or The Boss Baby? Yay! Oh, great! Everyone got it. So one of the fun things about Kahoot is that it matters if you get the question correctly, but it also matters how quickly you answer the question. You get more points the quicker that you can submit your answer.
Isabella,
And
sorry, go ahead.
yeah.
I have a question about that, because that is like the bane of my existence with
Yeah.
Kahoot. Because I'm like, I got it right, but like you have to be so fast.
I know.
Do you know if there's like a specific algorithm or like how it kind of works out? Like, because there have been times where I've been like, I've gotten the same right answers as someone, but I'm guessing they're just clicking it faster.
Yeah, that's it. So there is an algorithm. It's on our, I guess not an algorithm, maybe an equation is the better word. It's on our website, but basically each question is normally worth 1,000 points. And so there's like a deduction essentially for each second that goes by. And so unfortunately on the live game, it's not possible to turn off that timer function when it comes to answering questions. But if you play in our student paced challenge mode, which is an asynchronous way to play, you can actually turn the timer off so that everyone gets the same amount of points if they get the question correct. It doesn't matter how quickly you answer the question.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's good to know. I never knew that.
Yeah, that's why some
Good
people
stuff.
are really have different points, right? Because of how quickly
Yes.
they're answering, of course, and if they answered correctly.
Yes, of course. And then we also have some new points features that make it a little more exciting. So we have a points toggle now when you're creating a game. You know, like I said, the default is 1,000 points per question. You can double the points and so make a question worth 2,000 points, or you can even set the question to 0 points, where nobody gets any points for answering. So that does kind of help, because I know students will sometimes get frustrated if they're really behind, they feel like they can't catch up. If you put in these double points questions, it really gives them a chance to get back in the game. And that's that's part of our free plan. So everyone can do the points toggle. Great question. Okay, true or false? You can upload images into Kahoots. Hopefully this one is straightforward. We'll see. True or false? It's true. Yes. So unfortunately, Sandy, we couldn't get the video to work, but in the little YouTube video, it kind of goes over some of the ways how you can create Kahoot. So this was a question based kind of off of that, but it seems like most of y'all got it, which is great. So you can upload an image to a Kahoot. If you're a paid user, we also have an image library that's connected to Getty Images. So you can just kind of search Getty Images right in the Kahoot and add images really quickly. You can also embed YouTube videos, which is fun. So we have a couple of different options that you can use in the image window. All right. Oh, Marshall's back on.
Oh, Marshall.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a puzzle question type, and it's double the points like I was talking about. So unscramble this movie quote. Home, there's no place like. So this is a puzzle question. It's really good for English learners, which I know probably doesn't apply quite as much at y'all's higher ed level. It also works great for history, so putting things in chronological order. So essentially you have to drag the tiles into the right order. So it's great for history, it's great for math equations, trying to put the equation again in the correct order. So it's great for unscrambling things, putting things in chronological order. Yeah.
Isabella, is there a way to give partial points for these? Like you were saying with like a timeline? Like if I got the first two right, but then like scrambled the last two by accident, is there a way to like give half credit or something?
No, it is all or nothing on these.
Oh,
I know.
No.
They're really tough. They're very tough.
Isabella, I also heard you mentioned drag and drop, and like it's like the magic words as I'm the accessibility person for online. So with accessibility, drag and drop, if you are visually impaired, is obviously not accessible because you don't know where you're dragging to.
Right. You can't. Yeah.
So
and yes, thank you for pointing that out. We're always trying to work on our accessibility. I know it's been difficult, especially in live games, to they've been kind of stuck on how to make it better. So I think that like I said, our student-paced challenges, they're a lot more friendly to like visually impaired students, because as you notice, when we're playing this live Kahoot, you have the questions on one screen, and then when you're actually selecting your answers, you don't have any text, right? So you have to constantly look at the main screen with the questions and answers and then pick your color. When you play as a challenge, all of the questions and answers are on one screen. So you don't have to do this dual screen thing. So that means, on we call it your player controller, all of the colored tiles will also have the matching text. So it's a lot easier for students who are visually impaired to know which tile is which and to put it in the correct order.
Awesome.
But it's not perfect by any means. And I know that they've been very frustrated trying to make it better. So they're really trying to, our product team is working hard on making it better. But that's good to know. I might have Marshall put you in touch with me, because we're always looking for people to help test our different accessibility things and make sure that they work for all students.
Yeah, I would love to.
Oh, great.
that's great, Lauren. Great for you.
Yeah. Great. Everyone got this one right. Okay. Oh, no change in the leaderboard. Another true or false question, double the points.
Oh.
There's no crying in baseball comes from the movie Field of Dreams. False, yeah, great. Yes, good. So that
A
movie
League of Their Own.
Yeah, A League of Their Own, exactly. So this is that question type I was talking about. This is a slide. So it's just an informational slide where you can put some text, a photo, you can embed a YouTube video, which is great for these interactive presentations or for learning. And like I said, now you can even import slides from Microsoft PowerPoint into a nice format like this. So there's no crying in baseball. So yes, like you said, this comes from A League of Their Own, starring Tom Hanks, Madonna, Gina Davis, these great people. Okay, then another quiz question. This is multi-select, so this is a new little feature we have. Kahoot is forever free for blank. All teachers and educators, teachers who support the Houston Astros, teachers who support the Philadelphia Phillies, or teachers who don't like baseball. So with multi-select, you actually have the opportunity to select more than one correct answer, and you get points for each answer you get correct. This is a great way to rack up a lot of points. So all of these are correct. All teachers get Kahoot for free on our basic plan, no matter what baseball team you support or don't support. So there might be a big change here.
Oh, Lauren.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, Lauren.
Man,
Mhm.
I'm just not fast enough.
Yeah, you have to be very quick. So double the points, Just Keep Swimming. What movie is this from? It's the original movie, not the sequel. So then this is our type answer question. So you actually, it opens up your keyboard and you type in the answer. You don't have the multiple choice option.
I am
So
sorry
these
for so
are
many
also a lot
technical-
harder than your normal. Oh, sorry, what?
I'm sorry for so many technical questions, but do you know if it's exact match, exact case?
Yeah.
Like, do you have the option to set that?
Right. So it's not case sensitive. So it doesn't matter with capitalizations, but it is very exact. So the good thing is we do have a way that you can add answer options. So what I usually do when I create a Kahoot is, you have your correct answer, and then you can have 3 other options to put in that will still be marked as correct. So then I usually like misspell things, or I'll try to kind of, if someone mistypes and hits the wrong key, I usually try to include those. But like you'll see here, hopefully in a second it pops up. Yes, so Finding Nemo is the correct answer, but if you typed any of these other things, it still would have caught it as correct. But it's very exact. So I always suggest that if someone's doing a type answer question, they make the answer something that's easier to spell, unless you're trying to test for spelling, and make it straightforward where people won't think of another answer that would be correct, but obviously the game wouldn't recognize it. Great question. Yes, that quote's from Finding Nemo. All right, Lauren's still in the lead, followed closely by Marshall. Okay, double the points, so another chance to catch up. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Is this quote from Hope Floats, The Christmas Hope, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, or Obi-Wan and the Woodchucks?
I want to see that one.
Yeah. Yay, great, everyone got it correct. Oh, no change. Another puzzle. So double points. Unscramble the movie quote. Some people are worth 4 melting. This is, of course, from Frozen. Nice, yay. Oh, still no change.
Oh, Lauren.
Oh, okay, I think this is our last question. It's a quiz. Double the points again. Which movie is this quote from? To Infinity and Beyond. So this is our images as answer question. So here you can see that you don't have to have text in your answer option. You can actually include an image instead. This is free for all teachers. So it's Toy Story, yay, yes. And we're trying, and it's just a fun way to liven up your Kahoots, do it a little differently. It's great for math equations. Like if you're trying to have students pick the right equation, you can upload a photo of it. And good for like beginning, like students who are learning to read. Okay, so now it's time for the podium. Maybe I'll try turning on the volume. Elle, great job. Marshall. Oh, I think I know who's in first then. Oh,
Yay,
Lauren.
Lauren!
Runners up, Karen and Lonnie. Yay. Oh, great. Well, thank you all so much for playing. Hope you enjoyed brushing up on your movie quotes. But does anyone have any questions that I can help answer? I don't want to overtake Sandy's training.
No, 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 no. This was the end anyway. And like I said, I put the link to the video. It's not a long video, just showing you how to create your Kahoot. Any questions for Isabella?
I have a question. So
Yeah.
if the group of librarians at Northampton are interested in acquiring the, I guess, premium, how would I go about doing that? That would be my job to order and, all that
Yes.
stuff.
You can contact one of my colleagues. I can get his email to Marshall and get it to you.
Okay.
But depending on how many people you want on the plan, you can actually do it all online without having to contact us. Just if you're getting a lot of teachers on the plan or librarians, then you might want to contact us and talk about discounts. But if it's just a few, there's usually not much of a discount.
There's only 7 of us.
Okay, yeah, so you can actually do it all on the website. I think probably the plan y'all would want to do right now is Kahoot EDU. That is generally the best plan, and there's like some good specials going on. I think I actually have a coupon code I should be able to send you for that. But I would suggest that because that's where you get all the features, all the bells and whistles, and there's some nice admin tools that help you manage all of the accounts.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Isabella, could you talk a little bit more about the reports that you can? I think that might be important, especially Yvonne, if you're going to be, doing that, and how in the classroom, and doing the Kahoots in the classroom, how reports could come in handy. And feel free to share if you want to share your screen.
Yes, I was thinking, I was just opening up a report from a while back. Okay. Where's the screen? All right, there it is. Okay, so yes, so here's our reports, and all you have to do to access them is it's kind of like Sandy showed in her PowerPoint. You click up here after you log into your account, you click on reports, and then you get this great page with all of your different reports. So this this account I'm on is our Kahoot Studio account, so we use it to create all sorts of fun trivia games. And you can see we have lots of reports here, and this is a good one to look at. So here you can find the name. You can even rename a report if you want. So here's the one we just did, for example. And we won't go through that one. I don't want to put anyone on the spot. But let's do this one. So you can see this was a live game. So it meant we played it live as opposed to a challenge. And then in this first tab, you have summary. So this will give you a quick summary of the report. You can see overall how your students did. Got an average of 47%, so kind of hard. And then you can see any difficult questions. This Kahoot I actually played at a webinar 2 weeks ago all about Kahoot EDU, one of our plans. So all of the questions were very product-based. They were technical. They weren't the fun trivia questions. So you can check the difficult questions. It kind of pulls out. It'll show you. So for this one with Kahoot EDU, you can create interactive lessons by importing slides from Microsoft PowerPoint, Google Slides, Keynote, PDF files. So you can see here that this was a multi-select. So a lot of people, and then you can click in, and you can see that most people got it partially correct, but not a lot of people didn't get the entire thing correct, which is that you can import slides from all of these different tools. So you can go in, you can actually see how each individual player did. You can see the average answer time. So you can really click in and get a lot of great data based by question or even by student. So you can click players here, and then you can go in and see how each individual player did overall. This is what a lot of teachers use for formative assessment. It gives you just a great overview. You can quickly see how well students did overall, if there are any concepts you need to go back and cover. And then if you click on the questions tab, like I said, you can go by each question and see how well students did. So this was an easier one. This was a true false. And then you can see there were some harder questions, like the one I just said, which of these features is available? So you can scroll down. So it's really nice to do that. This feedback option is when you create a Kahoot, you can turn this little option on where if you want feedback, which is where the student can say, oh, I like this Kahoot, or oh, I didn't like playing this Kahoot. That feedback is there. It tells you right here the date that you hosted the Kahoot. And then if you click report options, you can actually download the report. So you can download the report as a spreadsheet. And you can even just save it straight to Google Drive if y'all use Google Drive. You can print the report. You can look at the Kahoot, view it, and then you can even go look at other reports for the same game. So it's pretty handy, and there's some really great information in here. Like you can see, like, oh, like y'all did really, really well on the game that we just played. 78%, that's great. So I think y'all know your movie quotes. And then if you want to replay the podium, you can replay it here. You can even see how long it took for us to play the game. So this is all really insightful data that can help guide your teaching, and you can identify any students that might need additional help or concepts that you might need to go over again.
So Isabella, do you have somebody create these? Do you have a team that creates Kahoots, or do you just do your own?
We do have some teammates that create Kahoots. I create a lot of Kahoots. I used to do that a lot. These days, we usually hire teachers to freelance for us, and they can create the Kahoots and we pay them to do it. So that kind of makes sure that we have accurate content and that it's useful content for other educators. So like you were saying earlier, Sandy, we have, go share my screen again.
Yeah, please do.
Yes, we have the Discover tab.
Yes.
Which is where you were saying like there are already Kahoots that are made and ready to go. So for example, we have this new thing called Kahoot Academy, which is where educators can sign up and become verified, and then their Kahoots are on these public channels, so you know that other teachers have created these. This is a math teacher, so you can play her math Kahoots if you want. We have some Kahoot Studio Kahoots, so like we have a partnership with Scholastic, which is cool. You can play some Scholastic Kahoots. So the Discover page is really handy when you don't have a lot of time, but you want great content to use with your class. You can just play one of these Kahoots, tons of different partnerships, basically for all sorts of subjects. Learn to read, English language, National Geographic, fun trivia ones. And then we also have a search bar. So depending on what topic you're teaching on, like if you wanted to do, trying to think of a college class, you can type in the search bar, and then this is all public Kahoots. So anyone can create these Kahoots. Lots of teachers create them. You can filter it down by subject level, by level, even by user type. Because again, like sometimes older students will create Kahoots and they'll show up. My advice, if you're going to use one of these public Kahoots, is just to quickly read over the questions and answers, make sure they're correct. Because sometimes they're incorrect answers, or maybe it's covering content that you didn't actually want to teach on. And so you can quickly look at the details and just kind of scan through, make sure it looks okay. And then you can play it right away. Or if there are a few questions you want to change, or if there's like a typo or something you want to fix, you can click edit, and then it'll duplicate the Kahoot into your account, and then it's like your own Kahoot. So you can change the questions however you want. Which is very handy. Yeah.
I looked at a few of these, and some of them are like the biology ones are kind of hard.
Yeah, yeah. It can be, yes. So we have a lot of content, of course, that's for high school students, middle
Right.
school students, but we're trying to grow more of our upper level content, like that would be more relevant for higher ed. But we do have some really good science and math Kahoots and history as well that are still relevant for those older students.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me just take a okay, that was, I thought I had another slide, but no, it was just the questions, and that's what we're doing now. Does anybody else have anything else to ask Isabella while we have her? This was so much fun.
Well, thank you for having me. And please, if anyone has any questions, Marshall can put you in contact with me. My email is just isabellav@kahoot.com. I'm usually pretty responsive. Marshall has that info too. And I'll reach out. Lauren, thank you so much for, if we ever need user testing, I might send you an email. And Yvonne, I can send you that discount code that I think we have.
Thank you.
Yeah. But thank y'all so much for having me. It's such a treat to get to interact with people. So I really enjoy it.
Yes, this was great. Thank you, Marshall.
Was.
Thank you.
All right, well, thanks everybody for being here. Sorry the video didn't work. Did you have a chance to get the link? I'll put it in the chat again so you can look at it at your leisure. And it's also on the main page. One thing I did like is when you do go to the Kahoot.com page and you have your, you're going to set up your account, there's a lot of information and articles, the news articles right there on the page. So it's a really nice program. Really nice program.
Sorry about that.
I agree. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you all.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being here. I'm going to stop the recording.